Y'all come in? Hey. Hey. welcome guys. Welcome. I'm board member Naked Cricket for Board Cricket Crazy Indians, and it really gives me a lot of pleasure, man. I can't tell you how much pleasure, but it gives me, a lot of pleasure, the kind of pleasure which Virat Kohli got, when he gave it there. Because you need to get pleasure when you're doing something, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to our first episode of The Whiteboard! Let's rock and roll! Okay, now we've been rock and rolling for a pretty damn long time. We won the World Cup, and that was one crazy night, and I think ever since then I started thinking, hey, it is going to get bad, it is going to get very bad, and it has. Now what made me feel that it will get bad and get really shitty is that these guys had a 5-day 4 nights package, and no, it wasn't in Pattaya, it wasn't in Goa. They could go fucking home maybe. I don't know if anyone can go home. You've just won the fucking World Cup. What do you do after that? You get 4 days, 5 days, get your fucking ass back and play the IPL, man. And that stunk. I mean, that was a moment where I felt like I didn't want to watch cricket. I thought at best you could get at least 5-6 guys, the mainstay. These guys, Jotman, Gigi, Sachin, VVS, give them a break, man. Okay, VVS gets a break anyway. I don't know whether he plays the IPL or not, but MS, these guys. Where the real problem started was, I think, Jotman and Gigi. These guys in the World Cup were playing with a fucking pain in the ass, man. They had pain in the shoulder, they had pain here. They went on playing. Now, if you're going to keep playing, and for whatever reason, whether it's the other board which has a problem with this and they want them to play, and they get them and say, listen, put your asses in line, you got to play for us, you keep coming, IPL is one major kick-ass tournament. So these guys lined up, they play after 5 days, 4 nights, not in Pattaya, not in Goa, and they play the IPL with injuries. So what do you have? You have 2 guys, Jotman, Sehwag, who goes for surgery. He goes very late. I think he pretty much played all games of that. I mean, Delhi Daredevil, what do you call them? Can you call them anything? I used to follow Delhi Daredevils. Delhi Daredevils is the kind of team that will put you off cricket for life. I mean, the kind of selections they do, you do not want to watch cricket after that. So this man, for whatever reason, whether again it's the other board or whether it is Jotman, the kind of player who goes with who needs a head when you can play with your heart, and that was pretty much what he did. So he played on, and that is where the decline started for him. His blood brother, he is not, but he pretty much followed in the same suit. This guy had injuries, so it's like if Jotman catches a cold, Gigi catches a cold. He gets an injury, so does he. That is the kind of empathy these 2 guys have. So these 2 guys haven't been scoring, and when they score, India wins. We do really well. Now, if you don't know that, there is a problem. These 2 guys gone. This guy is possibly, RDX is the only surprise. We didn't expect him to score. He went and scored, which makes it even murkier and confusing. So here when you're faced with a problem where you're losing games in England, you're losing games 2 on the trot now in Australia, you say, where do you put blame? So you've got these 2 guys who aren't going to go anywhere, Jotman and Gigi. You've got RDX, who is scoring more runs than anyone, and you want him to go. Pretty much you want the balance to be such that RDX and VVS go out, but they aren't going, or VVS might go. He will go after the series, if they are going to get a fall guy, because the fall guy after England was Bhaji, and you need another guy who goes out. Fine, you got all that trouble, top guy's not scoring. Now you got another problem here, which is you got to sort out who these guys are. They're great in one-day cricket. The only problem is they suddenly face the red ball. You got Virat, middle finger Kohli, you got Mohit Sharma. Before that you had Vijay, I can take up there. But these guys, you give them a chance, you play both of them, that doesn't solve it, maybe it does. But in this team, as of now, there really isn't a solution which will see us win in Perth or Adelaide. What I think you need to do is possibly clean this. Now, what you're going to try and do is clean this all up, so you see what kind of solutions you can get to this, because it isn't going to work like this, and I didn't bother saying anything about MST because MST pretty much will speak for himself. He'll say whatever that needs to be said. But if you want a solution, you got to start looking at Perth like a game where you start change. So what change can you do? Well, if Jartman and Gigi have a problem and they're not gelling in the team, you got to Fletcher, whoever the man is who takes a call, whether it is Fletcher, whether it is Chika or Dhoni, you got to see why isn't this team gelling? Because when a team keeps losing like this, I refuse to believe that you are going to pinpoint players. Now, if there is anyone who is injured still, get him out. You made this problem in England. He could be a batsman, he could be a bowler. If he's not 100%, what 100? If he's not 70%, because we have these mental cutoffs in our mind that a guy is fit or not fit, so get him out. But beyond that, who is not gelling in the team? Get him out. If Oja can play purely as a bowler and give less than 3 runs per over, play him. Because right now, everyone is going at 4 RPO plus. Now, if you want to keep leading 600 runs and there is no control because there's going to be no control around the field, that's another thing. But you want to keep the runs down, you want to get someone who gets the ball away. Get a left arm in, get a left arm spinner in, get Oja in. If this means playing Ashwin as well as a batsman plus bowler, because right now he seems like a guy who can bat as bowler. Now either you try and reconcile yourself to the fact that this guy is a batsman, a lower middle order batsman who can pretty much bowl a bit and stuff like that. So you gotta like figure out who the fuck is gonna bowl for you, like bowl. And not with a tennis ball bowl, but maybe with a cricket ball, with the old ball, something as old as this, because in 15 overs that damn ball loses its seam. So you get a guy who can bowl with the old ball, and once you don't have the new ball, has some kind of control. I think you need Oja. If you got a problem, and I'm not convinced with Rohit Sharma either. So you want a guy who broke his finger at the first chance he got in England, and suddenly because of all the one-day games he's played on flat pitches, the IPL, maybe he's the next thing, but he is not going to change this environment. Where you need is get the bowling. The batting is not going to save this series. The bowling will. So we better start going in with 5 bowlers. I've always felt that. I made early board calls on that. So what I'm going to ask you guys is, 1, what is your early board call for Perth? How do we win Perth? How do we win Adelaide? Because we can do. Australia is a crappy side. It's just that we are even shittier than them. Hey, looks like we're done for today pretty much, yeah? So see you next time. Before Perth, after Perth, during Perth, Adelaide, we'll be there at the whiteboard. Bye bye. See you later.